It tells us that Ben is negotiating with Sam for provision of an input he needs to produce thingies. So in the last question, we had this group situation where the value that they created together depended on their level of effort they put forth. So they're working as a group, they can create some amount of value, and they have to work with effort. Well, now we're in a little different world. They're still working together, and they're still trying to create some kind of value, but the way they create value is investing money. It's a dollar investment on each of their behalf. So the holdup problem happens because each person thinks the other guy is going to underinvest, so they end up underinvesting themselves because they know they're going to split the total value evenly, and when they maximize their individual surplus, they're going to treat their investment as if they're not splitting that evenly. So we'll see again that with holdup, we're going to divide just the value by 2 and not the level of investment. So first let's write what we know. We know that the value they create is given by this. B is equal to Ben's dollar investment, and S is equal to Sam's dollar investment. So total surplus is this. So from here, we're going to compare, and the question is asking us for the total loss created because of the holdup problem. So we're literally going to look at total surplus without holdup, we're going to look at total surplus with holdup, and we're going to see the difference between those two numbers, and we know that we're able to enter in a positive number because it's actually asking us for the loss. So it's accounting for the negative sign, so we can enter in a positive number into our problem set. So first let's look at cooperation when they maximize total surplus. So again, just like in free writing, you could just take the derivative of this with respect to B and with respect to S, and you'll get the same answer as if you take the derivative of this, which this is just Ben's total surplus, so we divide the whole thing through by 2. It'll give you the same answer. You can set it up however you'd like to, but just make sure you understand what you're solving for. So we do that, we can simplify here. We take the derivative with respect to B, or again, Ben's dollar investment. We get, remember the ln of x, the derivative of that is 1 over x. So here the derivative of 2,500 times the ln of b is just 2,500 over b. Then we have a minus 0.5 is equal to 0. So we can put the 0.5 on the other side and make it positive, cross multiply, and divide through by 0.5, and we get b is equal to 5,000. Now notice, this works out nice. If we would have taken the derivative from here with respect to b, we would have gotten 5,000 over b minus 1 equals 0, and we could very easily solve for b to be equal to 5,000. So that wasn't an accident that it was equal to that number. Likewise, we know that s is going to be equal to that number. So I'm just going to skip some steps and not do that derivative, but I know that s is going to be equal to 4,000. And if you're not comfortable with that, go ahead and work it out, but it will work out like that. So now that we have that with cooperation, let's look at what total surplus is. Well, we need to go back and plug in 5,000 and 4,000 into our original total surplus line. And we solve, in this case, to be 66,767.16. So again, this is when they're cooperating. Well, now let's look at when they're treating this as a non-cooperative game and they're maximizing their individual surplus. Well, just like in free writing, we're going to have the value only divided by 2 and the level of investment by itself not divided by 2. And again, this is just for one of their total surpluses, so this is just for Ben's total surplus. Well, here we're going to simplify and get 2,500 and 2,000, and from here we can see that that derivative is going to be pretty easy to solve. For B, we do the derivative, we set it equal to 0, we get that 2,500 over B minus 1 equals 0, and that can easily be manipulated to get B is equal to 2,500. So again, we know that S is going to be equal to 2,000 for the same reasons. Again, you can work it out if you're not comfortable with that. But we see that they're investing half as much when there's the holdup problem. When they're both maximizing individual surplus, they're thinking the other guy's going to underinvest. It leads them to underinvest, and we're going to see that that's going to hurt total surplus. So we need to plug that back in to our total surplus line, solve for total surplus. Again, this is with holdup, and we get it to be $65,023.84. And this question was just asking us the difference between holdup and without holdup, total surplus, that is, the difference between total surplus. So we just want to find the difference in those two numbers, and that'll be our answer.